Good tidings to all and your kin. Welcome to the Level With You show, special Christmas edition.
Woo!
Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Wiley Olmstead, and I am joined by my two friends at the table, Anthony Duart
Happy Honda Days.
and Tyler Hadley.
Chappie Chanukah.
And over there behind the control table today, we have Kenny Castro.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
He didn't bring his holiday gear today, so we had to send him off to the side.
Yeah. To the ranch.
Dress code. Oh,
But yes,
watch out. Ooh, it's Christmas.
Sorry, a little bit of a shaky start here.
Oh yeah, it's just like every time I go sledding.
All
No
good.
way.
So we are recording one day early. We're usually live on Tuesdays. We've all got family stuff going on tomorrow, so we moved it up a day. But we didn't want to miss an episode, so we are coming to you live on Facebook. We'll be up on YouTube most likely Wednesday. Still Wednesday?
Yeah, we can still do it Wednesday.
Still Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And as well as podcast services, if you want to hear the audio-only version, if you would give us a like or hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with videos that we put up each and every week, as well as lots of other fun content for you to check out, including something that we can't not talk about first thing. We had our first Smash tournament last week.
It went awesome.
It
I
did.
mean, it was just rehearsal. We just tested things out. But we still, friends and family, we got maybe like 20 people there.
Yep.
I mean, we had people there that weren't even playing at all, competing. They were just kind of hanging out, spectating. And a lot of people thought it was really cool. Got a lot of really good feedback.
Yeah.
And it gets me really excited to do the next one for real.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's something we've been talking about for a few months now. Tyler's been in coordination with people at Focus Springfield, the community access TV station right downtown. They were nice enough to let us use all their super professional equipment. So if you want to check out the stream, it is on the channel now. You can watch it at your leisure. And what is it? 3 different videos.
Yeah, I broke it into rounds. So we got first round, second round, semifinals, and then the finals.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect. And yeah, I mean,
If you want to see the full stream, you know, feel free to go to twitch.tv/levelwithyou. You can see the full stream there, as well as a couple highlights and clips that people had created from the stream.
Nice.
So that was also pretty cool because, like, in the Twitch stream itself, we probably had like 15 or 20 people at a average time, like a steady 15 to 20 people watching, which I thought that was probably like one of the coolest things. And like just seeing people interact in the chat in that channel was super cool to me. Like, I love being able to kind of just like bring a community together.
Yeah, absolutely. What
This
was
is your time.
What was your experience, Anthony? I know it was our first time shoutcasting, whatever you want to call it.
It was good. I think I had a lot of fun. I felt bad because I could feel myself getting a little fatigued by the end of it,
Yes.
just being like, man, just don't think about how bad you have to pee. I was like, I have to pee so bad. And I was like, look at the Smash Brother characters. Wow, I'm gonna talk about how I didn't hatch a shiny Charmander for the 3rd time. And I'd be like, shit, I already talked about that.
Yeah, so I have a new level of appreciation for sure of people doing play-by-play. Anthony and I were going for about 3 hours. We had no break, I don't think, and just solid talking with, maybe no more than 5 seconds of dead air, maybe
Pretty
at the
much.
worst.
No, yeah, you guys did a good job.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It was pretty good. We tried. It was. I think it was the hardest part was just to not be as entertained by the match as it was. Like, some of those were, especially when we got down to the finals, those were really close. Like, it was
Definitely.
just like
Yeah.
no one was giving each other any like leeway. So it was just like, oh wow. It's like, I want to talk, but I'm also like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna throw him? Is he gonna do a back air? What's he doing?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple points where I was just sitting in the audience, and after a KO, I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Yeah, there were a couple really hype moments. Definitely a all skill levels event. We had
Yeah,
some,
that one definitely was.
Yeah, so if you're in the area and you want to join in on something like that, you're not going to be made fun of or,
Don't ever feel intimidated.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and you never know. You might come and you might do really good. So
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how skilled you are if you don't try.
Yeah, I think our buddy Jeff came, and he was not thinking he was going to come in 4th place for that night.
Right.
And he did pretty good.
And then we had another person who I thought would be up there near the end, and he got eliminated first round just because he had a really tough matchup.
Yeah,
Right.
it was rough.
Yeah.
That's-
But he still stuck around till the end, so thank you to him. I'm talking about your roommate.
Yeah, I
Eric.
was gonna say, I was really surprised in the first round. Because you guys know we play with him like on the weekends and stuff, and he'll
Yeah.
just cream everybody. But it's also, I think it's also like, even being in that situation, like it's hard going anywhere and kind of being like, all right, wow, it's like just the kind of the event. It's like a little, like when you take your driver's test, it's like, well, I'm a little, a little nervous at first, and it can definitely, I feel like that's definitely a big factor. But I mean, you won't get any better if you don't put yourself out there.
Totally. And I was thinking I would be feeling the same way while doing the announcing, but within 5 minutes, I felt pretty
It was literally
in
like,
my element.
Right back to Saturday. We were just like, yeah. I was like, where's all the beer? Wait, never mind. We're at an event.
Yeah. So we had practiced a little bit at my house, turning on the CPUs and, giving it a go. But definitely once you're in the moment, it feels a little bit, I don't know, higher stakes. There's people watching. But it was a really good time. And yeah, we look forward to doing it again.
You get that adrenaline flowing and you're...
Yeah. And so, Kenny, what was your experience? You were like bouncer / food manager / crowd control / kicking somebody out.
You kicked somebody out. I want to know. I want to hear that story. And you never get back to me in the group chat. You're like, oh, that guy I kicked out. I was like, you kicked somebody out?
Yeah, so I kicked somebody out, and with that, it was he showed up, like just walked in, like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to play, and I was like, I kind of overheard it. Didn't really pay attention. I'm like, oh, maybe this is somebody that was supposed to come in, because I know Dan had said he had people coming. So I didn't know if all of Dan's people actually arrived and there was maybe a straggler. So it wasn't until my fiance was like, I don't know who this is. And then he comes around asking for a beer, and I'm like,
what?
Yeah, that's when I saw something. I'm like, I need to find out who knows this person.
Exactly. And then I was like, you want a beer? Yeah, the green beer that the girl's drinking. The girl said I could just go to the fridge. I'm like, what girl?
Like, it was my wife, right?
And then I check in with Elena, and Elena's like, I'm so confused about what he wanted, or what. It didn't know if he wanted me to go get him a beer. I just told him they were in the fridge. So like, and I was like, that's cool. I'm just trying to figure out who is he. Like, so then I asked him. He's like, oh yeah, Teresa said to come. I'm like, who's Teresa? Like,
yeah.
So then I started figuring this out, and then the guys were like, listen, he's not supposed to be here. You could go ahead, pretend like you work here. I'm like, all right, cool. That's all I need to hear. You guys don't know him? That's all I wanted to know, because we don't know.
He was not friends and family.
Like, he was not friends and family.
So you're some rando that came in off the street?
So then I rolled up
to... We had the door wide open, and I mean, we should have closed it, but...
We should have.
Now we know.
So then I rolled up to him, and I'm like, hey, listen, he's like, oh, about that... about that beer. And I'm like,
still on the beer, huh?
Yeah, you're not getting a beer. Can I help you with something else? Because that's not my beer, and that's nobody else's beer out here to be offering you. He's like, okay. Now, yeah, can I get a soda? And I'm like, I'll get you a soda, but this is a deal. Like, this is a friends and family event. I'm not, but Teresa said I could come. I'm like, listen, Teresa ain't here. And it's unfortunate, but it sounds like something you need to call Teresa after you exit and check in with her. So you're kicking me out? Practically.
I am.
That's exactly what's happening. But no hard feelings. Like, listen, like, this is a test run in a friends and family gathering, and you are neither. And to make sure no one feels uncomfortable, this is how it's going down. If you want a couple bags of chips, if you want another soda, 2 sodas instead of 1, have it. But you gotta go.
He's like, yeah, I'll take that stuff.
And he was like, so I can have a bag of chip? And I'm like,
oh my God. What is...
and he was already like sitting at the table with like 3 bags of chips, like before any of this happened.
Yeah. So I was like, come this way. I'll lead you to the bag of chips. He grabbed 1 bag of chips. I gave him 2 sodas, and I'm like, have a good one. Talk to Teresa.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like it worked out very well.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely have gone worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he definitely saw he didn't want anything to escalate, but he was just very confused. He was like, I like to play the Nintendo, right? Like, I came to play Nintendo. I'm like, yeah, I understand that you might know what we're doing here, but you're not staying.
Yeah.
So this is Super Smash Brothers. It's not Nintendo. We're on the Nintendo Switch, so we're gonna have to ask you a couple questions to secure your identity.
Who's your main?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you do? Do you like grabbing, or do you like shield guarding? Or
So this is a very small incident that was, a very little hiccup in an otherwise very smooth event. Which,
yes, everyone agreed that it went very smooth. Everyone had a good time.
Yep, seemed like it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened until like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was like, can he kick somebody out? Holy shit.
Well, he does have bouncer experience, so
That's true.
Lucky to have him there.
Well,
So this is an end of the year episode, and instead of going over the news, of which there's very little, We do have one story that we're going to talk about. We're mostly going to be looking back on 2019 and reminiscing about our favorite games that we played. And each of us has picked 3 games that stood out to us. Next week, I think Kenny's talking about a game of the decade discussion. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah,
Yikes.
for this episode, we're looking back on 2019. And I'm going to go, and then we're just going to go straight down the line here. And
Are we gonna you gonna have a time limit? How long you gonna talk for?
well, I mean, you guys can feel free to interject and ask me questions, and I don't want to just monologue here like I do sometimes. But I don't know, no time limit, just whatever feels right.
Just put your feet in the water. It's adult swim. Everybody can swim in the pool. Just don't pee in it.
20-minute time limit per game.
We each have 3 on our list.
So
No.
so we're not
That
gonna
was a
get through
joke.
past Wiley's list then.
Yeah, right.
But they said Wendy's list, and I was like, I would vote Wendy's top game 2019.
They need
Alright.
they need to drop an arcade again next year.
They do.
Oh yeah, I think they will.
So my top 3, and I ordered mine. I didn't make the guys do that, and they didn't feel comfortable with it because they didn't want to hurt the other game's feelings. But my number 1 game of the year was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Yes, this was the latest game from Software.
The Game Award winner.
The Game Award winner, which I think surprised a lot of people, including myself. I know that it was very well received, but even behind something like Bloodborne, it just didn't have the quite universal acclaim. But I had a wonderful time with this game for the most part, as is the case with most From Software games. The first few hours and the last few hours can be quite challenging and trying. I mean, like, Tyler remembers on like the first or second night when we were both playing that we were stuck on that one guy, Juzu the drunken lizard, or drunken...
Just a drunkard or whatever.
Juzu the drunkard, I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got lizard, but he's this big old sumo wrestler looking guy with a giant sword that's surrounded by 8 or 9 little samurai that you need to dispatch of, and it was just crazy stupid hard. I felt like it was like I needed to cheese it in order to beat it, and that's what I did. I would just take a few swipes at one of the guys, go run in a quarter, aggro Big Fatso to come over here.
I grow big fat, so
Yeah.
I want that on his shirt.
Get a couple slashes in, rinse and repeat. But as I progressed past that, I got into the exploration of the beautiful world that it presents of feudal Japan, and just got really into the nitty-gritty of the parrying system, which is still the best sword fighting in a game of all time. I feel pretty comfortable about saying that just because of how responsive it is, how closely you have to watch the player's movements, the wide variety of choices you have to dispatch your enemies. It just all feels excellent. The story, while it wasn't the most moving, as is the case, I mean, it's very lore driven, a little bit less so than other Souls games, but just had a great time. And the last boss, even though it nearly broke me, took me several hours and probably 50 plus attempts, and I finally vanquished it and have nothing but fond things looking back on it. So
Nice.
that's my number 1 of the year, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, give me yours. What's your favorite game of 2019?
Checking my notes here. It's actually there's nothing. It's blank. My favorite one from 2019 was Dragon Quest XI S of Dragon Quest Switch.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favorites from last year.
11 came out, didn't it?
Well, the
Well, it came
first
out
day,
like
only the Switch version came out this
Yeah.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, all the good games came out last year.
yeah, there's a lot that dropped. But Switch, the S so far is great. They had a whole bunch more new stuff, kind of like post. There's a big event. I'm not gonna spoil it, but big event happens halfway through the game. There's a lot more content that gets added halfway through that part, more character backstory, and I love the characters in that game. Probably one of my favorite RPGs to come out. That with the party makeup aside from Persona 5, that you just like fall in love with these characters. You really want to see them succeed, and I really couldn't have asked for like much more because I loved Dragon Quest 11. This is probably I think the only Dragon Quest game I've actually beaten as well on the PS4, and then went to put way more hours into it still on the Switch. And then Pokemon came along and kind of ruined that flow for me. But I'll get back into it soon to
Nice.
totally beat it. But definitely gotta say, it's just going back on it, just great. The music, the environments, just the overall like atmosphere of the game, just So great.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my first 20 hours or so, and I think I remember saying on the podcast that, I'm just going to take my time and maybe beat it around Christmas time. I literally said that, and I did not beat it yet, but the game does such a good job of, like, whenever you haven't played for a while, it recaps the, like, most important story thing that happened,
Yeah.
which I really wish more RPGs would do.
I love that.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you'll be playing one night, it'll be 1 a.m, you'll be like, yeah, I'm just fighting these battles, not really paying attention to the story, and then you wake up refreshed the next day. It'll have like 3 paragraphs explaining everything that happened. You're like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm right back in where I need to be, like in my headspace, and I know the purpose of what my next objective is. So
I've always had the soft spot for games that kind of recap previous events, like episodes of a TV show. It's like, oh well, stop watching, I'm gonna go read back, continue binging the rest of the series, and it's got the nice little mosaic with the background, like black and white of the images that just happened. And
Totally.
it's like, your hero on the journey just went this way, but now you have to go find a stick. And then some guy was like, hey, don't do that, and you were like, bad.
I can't stand that Netflix doesn't do that. They don't do that. Right? They don't do it for The Witcher either, right?
No.
I assume. Like,
No,
and
no,
that
I haven't seen it yet.
I find that to be obnoxious because every other network or streaming service will have a previously, just because people are consuming all this content these days. Like, they're going to forget little plot points. The shows are very complex. Not everybody is binge watching it in one day. So get it together, Netflix. Do previously.
What, by episode?
Yeah, by episode.
I think that's a little much to do a recap for every episode.
They should have the option. I mean, that's how most.
That sounds like a lot of extra editing.
Like,
Yeah.
every
Every
My Hero
show does
Academia does it at the beginning of every episode. Like, My Hero Academia has like the first, like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds as like the recap of certain things that happened in the previous episode, or like a couple episodes back. Like any show.
I mean, I think it depends on the genre of show that you're
I
watching.
feel, I feel like that's like a mainstay of animes.
It is, yeah.
That they sometimes will hit you with the last 30 seconds of the last episode as like a leader into this
Yeah.
episode.
Every HBO show, Tyler, every AMC show. Now the Mandalorian does it.
Yep.
It's pretty common in like any sort of ongoing drama or comedy that has.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well,
Netflix doesn't care about the community, Wiley.
exactly.
At least you can skip the intros now on Netflix shows. I've seen them.
Thank
They've had that for a
God.
while.
Yeah. Well, that's my thought. Anyway, moving on to Tyler. What's your game of the year?
What were my 3 that I wrote down?
You said Kingdom Hearts 3, Super Smash, and Bloodstained, but I just spoiled it.
Yeah, those are my 3. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3, man, that was a punch in the nostalgia balls.
But I think that's really all it had going for it. I mean, just for me.
I mean,
Hey, it's his time to praise the
I know, I'm
game.
sorry, it's
Yeah.
my bad. I'll hold
Still,
on.
Kingdom Hearts 3 just we waited for it for so long.
Oh my God.
We waited so long, and it
you
came.
felt like it delivered?
I mean, yeah, for the nostalgia. I mean, I feel like I play Kingdom Hearts for more of the cheesy story and the characters and everything like that, more so than the gameplay. I mean, but
This looks like a good spot to find some ingredients.
but yeah, I'm not sure if I would go back.
What do
to
you love
Kingdom
about
Hearts.
the series so much?
The character? Like, dude, this was like my favorite game of all time when I was in not even 8th grade, like 6th grade or something.
I think it
Okay.
came out at the perfect time for you to be like, when somebody says like heart and darkness and
Yep.
oh, they're going into the light, like you're at that like 8, 9, 10 years old, you're at that prime age to be like, whoa, this is so deep. Why if I have the darkness inside of me? And then you're just like, oh, the girl from school that I like, what if I had to go and save her heart from the dark? And what if my assistant principal is heartless? But it just hits you like it's just like, and for me at least, it like grabbed me and was like, wow. But then as you get older, you're like, you take it with a grain of salt. Of course, it's kind of just cheesy and crappy, but
That was
you want
like-
to see these
yeah.
characters succeed.
I mean, that was like one game, like as a kid, pretty much like everybody who had a PlayStation had Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Everybody was playing it. So that was like the big thing people were talking about. And then it was kind of like it became sort of like a competition. You know, I love competition. So
No Rocket
I
League
always
world,
just
I'm
want,
sorry.
I know. No, dang it. I want those rocket cars. There's only Tron.
Yeah. Even the ship though, the Pirates of the Caribbean world, that was probably one of my favorite worlds, just because you could
Yeah.
felt like you had your own ship and you could upgrade it by killing all these white
Yeah,
crabs.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's just most nostalgia more than anything for me.
Okay, so that's the one that stuck with you the most. Kingdom Hearts 3. I know that was a big one around the office. I was not into it because I never got on that train, or I hopped off at the first stop.
You got the Alice in Wonderland world. You're like, the hell out of here.
Exactly. All right, Kenny. I see you typing away over there. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, take it away. What is your favorite game of 2019, or at least one of the top 3?
One of my top 3 is Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Okay.
That's your Uno?
That was a game of the summer.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than being the god in my second game. Wink, wink at you. We'll get to that when it come back to me because I'm the god there. But number one, yes. That game, I needed like a turn-based, RPG with strategy. Like I hadn't played one in so long. And this one, I found myself playing until 4 a.m. sometimes in bed with my Switch. And just dropping hours into it. And, I can't wait. Like, I started the playthrough, and I'm taking it slow. I'm not rushing it this time. Because I felt like I definitely rushed the first playthrough. So I'm taking my time with this second playthrough with the second house that I'm running now. Because I want to get through all 4 storylines, see the differences, the different interactions with the head of the houses.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So you were really into the combat, the story, the characters, a combination of all 3.
The development of the characters and like developing them like to suit your battle style. One character will start it off, their skills are kind of proficient in magic. So how do I want to use them best? Do I want to go with a class that was like a hybrid, like a paladin that could do magic and also attack with a sword? I enjoyed that aspect where I was thinking long term how I wanted to develop these characters.
Gotcha. And the story was, did that stick with you?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the stories. Somewhat slow at first, but once it gets over that twist, it's amazing.
Okay.
Really amazing.
Nice. That's another one that I need to give another shot someday. You let me borrow it. I played it on my honeymoon a little bit. Don't worry, not a lot. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with it, but I don't think I quite got over the hump that I needed to like really get into the nitty gritty.
I think that's gonna be the next one I pick up in the new year. Just go back to that because I feel like I got too caught up in the guilt from not beating Persona 5 before I started that.
I know that's one game I never got to play this year, even though I would have liked to. I probably would have been up my alley.
I thought that you did have it.
Oh, I have it. Yeah, I played like maybe.
Oh,
the first
pick it up.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But you
gotta pick
borrow
it
it
back
after I
up.
beat
Gotcha.
the second playthrough.
I really want to try.
Alright.
That'd be cool.
By that time, Persona 5 might be out. I might be replaying Persona 1, Persona 5 1.
Persona 1 5? Wait, one?
Persona 5 Royal.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Persona 5 Royal is going to be this podcast for like 2 months.
It might be.
Yeah.
Well,
It is.
I'm almost considering not getting it just because I know the 3 of them are going to be talking about it.
But then you can talk about it too, and everybody will be talking
Well,
about
then
it.
it just becomes a Persona show.
We could.
we can make a Persona show.
We could make a Persona show.
We could.
But then we have to have a rule that we can't talk about Persona on the regular show, which that's going to be hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we
true.
can still talk about it, just not at length.
Yeah, but, hey.
At length that we want.
Yeah.
I kind of like that Phantom Thieves type podcast discussion show.
Yeah.
We can do it. Hey.
All right.
Want to hear us
Things
talk about
popping.
Persona? Let us know.
If you guys like it, I know we've got a bunch of other weebs out there like Persona.
Mhm.
Just let us know.
All right, so we have gone full circle. It is now time for my number 2 game of the year, which
Number 2.
you may have heard of it on the show before. If you are a regular listener, it was mentioned in at least the first 10 or 11 episodes because we started the show back in April, which is when this game came out, or give or take, Mortal Kombat 11.
Boo.
Bah.
All right, well,
I mean, because that's awesome. Like, definitely, if I had some time to play it, but you cream me, like, absolutely, just
well,
But you always give me a fighting chance. You do tutorial before we play, but it's
Yes.
good. I mean, online, like I have way more respect for it now. Being like just stomped into the ground with it.
Well, yes, give it some time. And that's the thing with fighting games these days. They're so complicated. They've got all these systems layered on top of each other. And like I said in my big write-out that I did for Game of the Year, what really makes Mortal Kombat stick out amongst other fighters, I think, is the extraordinary production value. Just the sound of the punches landing, the insane graphics of the backgrounds, and that's just one of the aspects of it. I mean, there's the plethora of skins to unlock in the Towers of Time, which kept me coming back, had me grinding for that platinum trophy. I did get the platinum trophy. Story mode was excellent. I mean, you got to be a little bit versed into the MK lore to really appreciate it, which I was because I just played MK9 like a week before this dropped, so I was in it to win it. But it's kept me coming back. All the DLC characters have brought me back for at least 5 to 10 hours just to mess around with them, and I always say to myself, okay, I'm going to get really, really good now, and then I fall off because I like to play so many different things. But you know, Joker's coming out soon, and then Spawn, and then we know there's going to be a second combat pack. We just haven't had anything confirmed. So Kenny, I know this would be on your top 3 too. Why don't you like hop in and say why this was like such a
He's gonna hop in and be like,
yeah, he's gonna hop in and then do an uppercut and then
Stand on the side of the stage and do the ace shot or whatever.
That's his move.
Wiley knows
Hop and uppercut.
my troll tactics with him. You know?
yeah. I mean, Kenny and I had a little rivalry going, but now we're pretty much
Little rivalry.
we are evenly matched,
You know.
and I look forward to our next bout.
I don't know, man. Kenny told me he was going easy on you.
Yeah, well, he's full of shit.
Tyler got that out of me after 2 mad elves in my system.
Oh yeah. So Kenny, so what do you really think? Otherwise, I way easier. So, Smile, you know what? Play me a Madden. Let's get more else to play me a Madden.
Oh no, that one I take no prisoners. I don't go easy on nobody.
Well, why don't we have actually do a Madden tournament at Focus someday?
Oh,
Right? Because somebody actually suggested that to me at work. They were
Really?
Like, yeah, they were like,
Yeah, there's so many things we could do for tournaments. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of
honestly, that one it'd be difficult. You know, people would have to come into my territory, my domain, and get smacked around. They would feel like it's an unfair advantage.
We'll have to invite that guy that you kicked out to come back and kick him out again.
Exactly. after I beat him in Madden,
Yeah.
right?
there
You
you
know.
go.
No more sodas.
You know, because it was the whole Madden thing. You know, Madden's not in my top because I feel it's a repeat
every
like,
year.
Every
Yeah.
year,
Unless
So,
something really extraordinary
really
happens.
different that gets added. But I was already talking to Tyler about making Madden Mondays happening on the Twitch channel. So
Uh-huh.
smacking
Yeah,
people
there you go.
online and
You wanna
letting
play with
people
Kenny
watch.
on Twitch.
You know,
To fill the void after Monday Night Football ends?
Yep.
Okay.
take over that void there. Some trash talk. Tell people I'm their father.
So do you have anything non-smart-assy to say about Mortal Kombat 11?
No, actually, in all reality, it was honestly, other than Super Smash Brothers, you know, I haven't really enjoyed a fighting game like I did with Mortal Kombat in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I liked MKX, but not like this. I liked Injustice 1 and 2. You know, it was okay, but really, where I was like, oh wow, like I'm gonna try the you know, the ranked matches. Like
Yep.
normally I don't waste my time doing ranked matches. I'm like, oh, people are just spammers and they're gonna just do the same thing. You know, Scorpion teleport side to side. But I was like, you know what? I'll deal with the frustration because I really love this game, and they did the DLC characters amazingly. At least that's
they
my
have.
personal opinion. You know.
Yeah. I wish that maybe, like I was saying with Smash, that we got like a stage with each character. But I don't know.
No, I think they definitely should have, because you know, when you look at how Smash dealt with their DLC characters and you look at the way MK did it, it's almost like we got shortchanged.
Mhm.
You know.
But I would
Almost the
also
same
say
price.
that there's a lot more that goes into, well, this is
You know,
arguable, but
we
an
get the-
MK character will have 30, 40, 50 moves. A Smash
Exactly.
character has 16 or whatever it is.
And we get the fatalities. I understand that the production value with fatalities and things like that.
Yeah.
And brutalities and everything like that, you know, and sometimes the voice acting, because at least
True.
I will say that the thing that has me extremely excited about the Spawn is that we have the Spawn cartoons voice actor. I forget his name, you know, famous black actor.
Keith David.
Keith David.
Yeah,
So he's voicing Spawn in the game
that's sick. Yeah.
for the DLC character.
Also the voice of the Arbiter from Halo.
Oh,
Ah.
Yeah.
So
And the one that said either a Navy or the Marines guy, I forget. But you've heard his voice.
yeah, you've heard his voice.
Yeah.
You've heard his voices, and once you see his face, you recognize him in TVs and movie. So I'm excited that they brought him on board. You know,
Cool.
kept that at least faithful.
It's nice. So good job, NetherRealm. You made 2 of our top 3 of the Level With You's Game of the Year discussions. Now moving on. What is your next game, Anthony? Or no, shit, is it my turn? Oh,
Wait,
it's
no,
your
you
turn.
just said
Yeah, your turn, Anthony.
Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Sword. Whoa, surprise.
Oh yeah, I don't big surprise. I didn't know what he said.
No,
got that Charmander.
Yeah.
I finally got the
Oh
Charmander.
yes.
Charmander
Take it
Saga's
away.
over. The Shiny Charmander Saga ended last night. It took me about a little over a week, probably I'd say a week and like 2 or 3 days, but last night, out of nowhere, we're sitting there watching, sitting with my roommate and playing my Switch in handheld mode. He's playing, hooked up the N64. He's playing some Banjo-Kazooie, and just popped. I scared the shit out of him too because I screamed. I was like, "Whoa!" Ah! He's like, "Whoa." I was like, I did it. He's like, what? I'm like, I got it.
And now what happens?
Now I use a bunch of experience candy to level him up to 100, and then I either try to farm a gold bottle cap to get all of his stats up to best, or I just deal with it and have a nice black shiny Charizard. And
So is it natured? Is it a good nature?
it's pretty good nature. This one, the natures aren't too bad because you can always change it with a mint. You can just buy it at the battle
right,
towers
right,
and be
right.
like, I want you to be this inclined to do this. I still have the EV train and everything, but
Yeah.
so it's just still a bit of a road here. But I think the toughest part's out of the way. Now I can actually play the game again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know we've kind of talked about Pokemon a lot on the show the past few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been all you've been playing. I played all the way through Shield. But what about Pokemon Sword made it stand out to you in a year of other great games?
Wild Area.
Wild
like
Area.
The one, I think because it's the first mainline Pokemon game on a new console, on a new generation of console, that was a big thing because I don't know what it was about like Sun and Moon. I just couldn't really, like, I played halfway through them, just put it down, and then didn't pick them up for like half a year, and then played through the rest of them. But this one was just constant. I'd sit down any moment I got that was free, sit down, hammer out a couple hours, and then kind of repeat until it was just, that's all I was playing, and then it was done, and I still wanted more, so I kept on playing. But I think it's the introduction of the wild area, and then the ability to do raids with your friends online. Offline, you can do local or just random strangers as well, which is great. And then the Wonder Trade was vastly improved from Sun and Moon because before you had to sit there and watch the screen, but now you can continue playing your game and have the trade set up in the background. So I think the big integration of just having a little bit more, like taking a page out of Breath of the Wild's book and giving you more free form, but in a Pokemon genre.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really enjoyed the game as well. I do wish they took it a little bit further in terms of production value and I don't know, making the main campaign more challenging
Yeah.
because I hear so many fascinating things about competitive and there's just no need for it in the regular playthrough unless you're really, I guess, getting to end game stuff. I don't know.
It's like a literal, unless you want to do like straight up battle tower without using any of the rental teams, you kind of have to be like, all right, well now I have to look into stuff that the game doesn't tell me about, like what's good for competitive or Pokemon natures or what I should do, because the game doesn't tell you anything about that. So I mean, thankfully we live in like the age of the internet now where we can look it up and it's like a click away. But like most of the evolution methods for the show, or not for the show, for the Pokemon in it, like Runerigus, you had to go take 41 plus points of damage in one hit in one battle and not die, and then walk to a certain part in the wild area under a certain structure, and that's the only way that Pokemon could evolve.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
Wow.
And then there's one you have to turn the Switch upside down, like undock your Switch if you're playing with it docked. When it's evolving, turn the Switch upside down while the Pokemon is leveling up. Once it levels up, then it evolves, and that's the only way you can get it to evolve.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's great. It kind of
Yeah.
brings you back to like the world of, like the word of mouth. Like you're on the playground, like, well, just my brother got the surfing Pikachu. It's like, well, how'd you get that?
That was the only game as a kid where the word of mouth on the playground was like a legit thing. It was like, yeah, you can get Mew. You just have to go on the boat and do this. It's like, no, that's been disproven. That's been disproven.
You got to go
Yeah,
use surf to go to the truck, and it's like, no, we can't. My uncle works at Nintendo. That's wrong.
Yep. And I did the rare candy trick. I don't know how many times.
Oh, yeah.
Going
Yep.
up, sailing up and down that fire island.
Again, missing no.
Yep. Yeah.
That was great. That's how I beat. That's how I beat Stadium 1. It was like plugged in blue version because you could play it on the emulator on the screen there. And just
Oh
did that
wow,
trick
I
there.
forgot about that.
And you could actually fast forward in that one. You
Really?
Could, yeah, you could play it
Yeah.
and fast forward through if you're playing through the game pack. It's great.
That is pretty cool. Forward thinking, Nintendo. We'd be fast forwarding Pokemon on our phones in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me kind of wishes they did like a throwback to missing no somehow.
Yeah. Some. Like
I don't know what they
something.
would do exactly, but I think that'd be kind of cool.
We
cool.
found no.
Yeah. It's I just wish it like just.
Here's some
do
more
something.
no's.
No. We did half the Pokedex. No. All the battle animations. No. But I mean, yeah, for all the negative and like I've heard a lot of like YouTubers or people talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield this year, like this is the most controversial Pokemon game ever to come out. I will agree that it is controversial in the fact that they've changed a whole bunch of stuff, but the basic formula is the same. The only thing I would like to see improved is battle animations. I know you can only do so much, and honestly, everything else about it was awesome. Like it's just I think it's the next step. Like maybe it wasn't, the biggest hit that a home console could have put out. Definitely feels like it could have still been out on a 3DS, but for the Switch with all the raid battles and the interconnectivity that gives you, plus the crystal clear looking Pokemon, how they looked on when you docked your Switch and played on TV was mind blowing. I was like, I can play Pokemon on a TV. I've been waiting for this since I was like 10.
Yeah, that was neat. And I played it about half and half docked and half portable, and it's good in both ways. It is neat seeing it on the big screen.
So when are you going to get into some competitive matches?
Probably. Actually, I do want to start that as soon as I get Charizard up, because now that I have him out of the way, I'm going to start leveling up my competitive guys and hopping in, teaching them the moves, and I'm going to give it a shot.
Nice.
We look forward to hearing your future exploits.
So I will tell you.
You should
All right,
stream
Tyler,
it.
I'd love to.
Road to Master Ball.
Let's do it.
back to you. What's your number 2?
Number 2, let's go with what else was on my list?
Tyler put a lot of thought into his.
The burrito one.
Symphony of the Night.
No,
Super
you
Smash
did
and
Bloodstain and
Bloodstain.
Super
Yes,
Smash. I think we've talked about Super Smash pretty much ad nauseum.
Yeah. So I'll talk about Bloodstained, Symphony of the Night. Actually,
Ritual of the Night.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was awesome. It's a typical Metroidvania that I don't know. I haven't played a Metroidvania in a very long time, and then that game came out, and it got a lot of really good ratings and reviews. Being able
cheap at
to
first too, to just pick up.
Yeah.
They have like a big barrier of entry for price wise.
tons of different abilities and souls you can capture to traverse the game in various different ways, and I mean, I never actually beat it. I'm pretty sure I'm like at the final boss still.
Yeah. That's. Come on, man! You gotta get back there. Get back
Dude,
on that horse.
I feel like I need to grind so much to even like put a dent in this thing. Though,
might have to.
because it's I don't want to grind that much. I just want to finish the game.
So what are you grinding? I mean,
Levels, get more health.
okay.
Different upgrade your spirit souls.
Have you
or
explored the rest of the castle?
stones. Yeah, I've like been everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
wow.
No. Maybe
Okay.
there's like another area. I'm surprised that actually the castle did it flip itself upside down again, like in Symphony of the Night. Like
No,
you get halfway through, it
it
flips?
gives you defeat a boss that gives you an ability to flip the map.
Oh boy.
And so that's how you get to certain areas, is you have to use the ability to flip back and forth.
Flipping the map.
Yeah, so you'll flip the map and then you'll fall. You can flip it back over, you'll fall back to the other side.
Oh, that makes
jeez.
sense because there are all those. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Maybe you have to grind at the flip part or like explore more flipped.
I don't know, dude.
Nah.
But
you gotta be in the mood to be like, all right,
I
I'll go
know.
back.
So Tyler loved the
grinding's a
game,
lot.
but not enough to finish it.
Honestly, I saw Tyler take on this last fight, and it's because he gets through the first phase, and then the second.
yeah, it's a
phase,
two-phase
like,
boss, and it's because you can only carry a certain amount of potions to heal yourself with. And
That makes sense.
I end up using all my potions in the first phase, and then I get to the second phase, and just there's no point. There's no hope.
No hope.
No, that attitude.
No.
Can you craft like potions? I know they give you like different tiers of it. Can you get like a potion, like just grind out the max amount of potions that restore the max amount of health?
Yeah, so it gives you like 10 of like the small potions,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can only carry like 5 of the next level up potions. And I think there's only 2 tiers of potions that you can.
Wow.
Cool. Well, that's one that I've been also meaning to get back to. So what we've gone over a few games that I've started and need to get, and that are in my backlog now. They've got Bloodstained. I got Dragon Quest XI. What else?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, but I gave that back to you. So that's like, I don't own that one, so it's less of a burden on my soul.
Yeah.
Next Black Friday, I guarantee you'll see it in a Walmart bargain bin in like, I don't know, a year. Maybe.
Maybe, although it is a Nintendo
It has
game.
a nice roadmap of DLC that's gonna come
Oh,
out.
that's
So
true.
I don't think it'll be in the bargain bin anytime soon.
That's a good point. Because I see Awakening, but Awakening's like 7 years old at this point now.
Exactly.
True. All right, Kenny. Now the next one we're going to talk about, you are
So
the master of the universe at?
yes, I am the master, the level which you master of Slay the Spire.
I don't know, man. I was pretty good at it.
You were behind me though.
You started before me.
It took you longer to get through all 3 people.
Yeah, because I had to tell you how to play one character.
Not even.
All right, guys. This is a celebration of games, not a time for.
You know what, Kenny?
Come on, man. I got that. for you.
I will say I did get close with that with the defect, right? But once I was like, oh, Tyler tried it this way. Let me see, and I mastered his strategy. to the point where I've gotten to the heart, you know, in my fourth run every single time, and just come ever slightly short because that thing is ridiculous.
So tell us about what that heart actually is.
It's a ball.
Well, I mean, how do you access it, and why is it such a unbeatable thing?
So the way to access it, you have to go through the first 3 acts collecting these 3 keys. But to get the keys even part of the game, you have to beat the game with all 3 characters before the keys become readily available. One is obtained by beating an elite monster that has like a glowing smoke behind it on the map.
Okay.
Another one is gained by choosing, instead of resting at a campsite, choosing to obtain the key. And then the last one is obtained by, rather than taking a treasure from a chest, you forego the treasure and you take the key instead. So it puts you in the moment of like, do I want this treasure or do I want the key now? Or do I wait to get the key for the treasure in, you know, the second act or the third act? Or do I want to just bang out and get all 3 keys in the first act and not worry about them later on, you know? And I've gotten to the point where I can reach the heart every single time at this point.
What's your personal strategy? Do you just get it all in the first act, or you space it out?
So I've tried it multitude of ways. Tried it spacing it out, all in the first act, all in the third act, all in the second act. Tried it all different ways. Fall short every single time at the heart, because I feel as though what hurts me the most is not really the boss fight with the heart. It's the fact that you get a boss fight before the heart with 2 monsters attacking. This is the first time and only time in the game where you have a battle mechanic where you're being attacked from both sides.
Ooh.
So whoever you're giving your back to does triple damage.
Oh God.
So if you're facing him, he might only do 7 damage, but when you give him your back, now he's doing 21 or 30, you know? So it's almost like you have to pick and choose. And then so you have to take down one side, then take down the other, or you can roll with the defect when he has the, you know, chain lightning, where you can attack both of them at the same time. So
why is it in your top 3?
Thank you, Tyler.
Because it's so addicting. It is so addicting. I love card games. You know, it's a personal like vice, you know, like a secret love of mine is card games.
Preach, brother.
And I think it mixes well the RNG factor to it and just strategy, you know, like really looking at the map, and like when you really look at it and you like start thinking of it, like it has some element of strategy when you want to take what path you're taking in the first act or the second act, third act. So it's not like you just flow through and whatever happens and it is what it is. You know, it was luck. You know, there's a chance of luck.
Yeah, I think it has that kind of like maybe like 70-30 strategy to RNG factor.
Exactly.
Where it leans more on the strategy deck building than it does on the RNG. Most of the time. I mean, there are plenty of times where it'll kick you in the ass in
Exactly.
the first or second area.
And it'll punish you for being too cocky. Because I will say, even now where I have full-on strategies, sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, oh, I want to run through it pretty quickly. And I'll get my ass kicked in the second act or even in the first act, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I'm like, I just got too cocky there.
You like it because it's a game with consequences, like actual.
Exactly. Yeah, because I've sat there sometimes and I'm like, oh, I got a nasty deck. Oh, I'm not gonna rest. I'm gonna take on 2 elites in a row, hit this question mark, and now this question mark is a forced elite fight where I'm like, I don't have potions. I'm at 20 health. I'm not surviving this.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, this was a game that had the 3 of us. Anthony, you dabbled a little bit, but hooked for a solid week or 2 or more. And that, I don't think, maybe there was 1 or 2 other games that came out this year that had all of us engaged and, you know, texting each other about and exchanging strategies and making people cry when they beat it before you, even if they started playing it 2 weeks after. So that's the number 4 game on my list, and I'm glad it was on Kenny's because it definitely deserves a shout out. And if you have Xbox and you have Game Pass, you can check it out there. It's also on Switch, PC. I don't know if it's on PS4.
I think it might.
It might be.
It might be.
Yeah, very well might be. Okay, so back to me for my number 3. This was a tough one. I went back and forth a lot, but it's Death Stranding. You know what it is. It's the latest game from Hideo Kojima and his brand new studio, Kojima Productions. It's been extremely controversial, or I would say more divisive than controversial. And I happen to be on the much more positive end of the side of the argument. I really enjoyed the gameplay much more than I thought that I would. I thought that it was a lot of fun learning how to best traverse areas, overcoming the elements, the stuff like that usually bothers me in these type of games, equipment management, deterioration of your gear. That's all there, but it's not in a way that's obnoxious, and it's a way that really is supported by the narrative. So it just further immersed me into this character, Sam Bridges, played by Norman Reedus, who I think does a really excellent job, as do the rest of the cast members, even though the writing can be hit or miss in some areas, and the story is a little incoherent. And I mean, I don't know if it's incoherent, but it's so complicated towards the end that I was Googling explanation videos the moment it was over, because I was like, what just happened? Who was that? Why? What timeline are we in? Yeah. And
So what? I'm Mario and you're Princess Peach.
that was a pretty cringy
Oh my god.
line.
He's got some good ones there, though. He's just very like, I'm the badass, but I got a kind heart.
Mm-hmm. But exactly, he does have a kind heart, and I really liked his portrayal and how he was vulnerable in his connection with the BB, and the connection that you have with other players throughout the game, throughout your creation of helpful tools to help people along in their journeys, especially once you start progressing, get 15, 20, 30 hours in, you have a whole slew of things that can help you get from point A to point B in a more efficient way. I talked about this on the show before, but the whole zipline thing was really special to me. Just linking these objects that are 400, 500 meters away and zipping yourself over a giant ravine or up a mountain, and knowing that it was another player that did that, and making one of your own, and having, coming back the next day and seeing 260 people liked it, and just stuff like that. I really appreciated, and I had a great time with it, despite the fact that it's flawed. It's got some mediocre boss encounters. Like I said, the story can be a little much at times, but the soundtrack, the performances, the scenery, the vibe, it was up there, and that's why I had to get a spot.
I think the real question everybody wants to know, how much and how often did you pee in the game, and where?
Okay, I'll tell you. Where I peed was whenever I was off like a really high cliff.
I can't blame you. That's actually pretty sweet.
So, and there's one of the my most liked structure in the game is a sign that says no peeing, and it's at the very top of a mountain, and it got like between 1,000 and 2,000 likes.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I didn't do that very often. I don't know why. So yeah, I think I pooped more than I peed.
No, that's because you can go in and shoot.
Because you can actually get.
Presents.
Yeah, you go to number 2 and you get grenades made out of your excrement. Don't ask. Play the game.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's see. That's my top 3. And recapping, that was Sekiro at number 1, MK11 at number 2, and Death Stranding at number 3. And now Anthony, actually you only had 2 written down here. Was there a third?
I'd have to say for the third one I was kind of like back and forth on, but I'd probably have to say at least for this year is Astral Chain was my third one.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of fun. It pushed me. It was definitely out of my normal realm of games. I'm usually like a turn-based RPG kind of guy. This is very fast, action-oriented, action-adventure with some RPG elements in there, upgrading and all that. And the story, the world, the characters even, very likable. It starts off kind of a slow jog. It's a lot of tutorial-based at first, but just because there's so much you kind of have to learn about the world and the mechanics you get, and you're constantly getting new powers or getting new mechanics introduced to you that you can use to help traverse the world or fight all the big behemoth guys that are coming at you. And it's great. It does the episode recaps too, kind of like that. It's like an anime in a weird way.
I don't find that necessary.
But it's good. It's really. I have to just go back. I stopped recording it for the channel, so if you want to check out we have a long plays there. I don't want to talk over. I just want to play the game, so we have it out there. I think it's the first like 2 or 3 chapters. You can check it out. But yeah, I definitely want to go back and finish it up because it was a lot of fun. Very fast paced, very over the top actiony, and it was rad.
Just a good old Platinum Games joint, sounds like to me.
Very much.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
3 Switch games for you.
I know. Actually, I think aside from like Persona 5 was probably the only time I really touched my PS5 or PS4 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're straight up Switch fanboy over
I
here.
am now. I'm straight. I can, like I said
Nintendo
before,
boy.
you can play it when you poop.
Yep.
I can play it when I poop, and
You can't beat that.
you can't play it in bed. Play it when you poop. Play it when you eat.
I have to be careful with playing it in bed because I'll pass out with it in my
Yep.
hands, and then like in the morning I'll make a quick jerk, and I'm like, oh no, where is
You
it?
roll over, and be like ah.
Huh.
But yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right. So Anthony's top 3, we got Dragon Quest, Pokemon Sword, and Astral Chain. And Tyler, let me remind you, your third game.
Right, well, maybe I'll switch it up. Maybe I'll talk
Oh.
about we can talk about Apex Legends.
Oh, very nice. I
Yeah.
like the last minute addition here. Okay.
Yeah, Apex Legends,
I'm
man.
surprised
What a
Borderlands
game.
wasn't on your
Yeah.
list.
Apex is better.
Yeah, it is better. Yeah, Apex Legends came out of nowhere and it just kind of took the world by storm. And that type of shooter draws me in more than the Fortnites. I mean, Fortnite I can't build for shit. Apex was more up my alley, and I particularly like to get games when they're kind of like at the ground floor.
Yeah.
So being able to jump right in, whereas for something like Fortnite, I was already behind and everyone was already kicking ass. So being able to get in and actually be able to compete at a pretty decent level. I mean, I think we got like a couple W's that we all played together.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
the weapons, the characters were all really cool. Being able to find the couple that I was really good at or that I preferred over the other ones was a lot of fun. Definitely kind of gave me that Overwatch vibe again, with like the ultimate abilities and things like that. So I think that's really what kind of drew me to it, was just because I loved Overwatch so much when I played it, and then because Overwatch when it was another game, I pretty much came in at the ground floor. I wanted to kind of experience that again, and I think overall it's just a really cool community. They showed a lot of different support, and
Yeah, I think that nobody would have expected that a Battle Royale game from EA would come out of nowhere and take heavy inspiration from Overwatch and, of course, Fortnite because of and PUBG, and just catch on the way it has. People really enjoy the characters. I think that each season they put together these fun videos. They're doing a good job of supporting it with these events. Like I saw some fun Christmassy thing happening at the Game Awards, and seems to be doing well for them. I hope that it's being a financial hit as well. I mean, it is a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
Those cosmetics are expensive AF, but
yeah, I mean, yeah. Now they've got the new map, which I haven't even tried.
oh yeah. So what is it? A new? Can you still pick the old one?
I actually couldn't tell you because I
Okay.
haven't actually logged in for a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, but when it first came out, we were all, or at least you and I, you actually brought your TV over to my house so we could do a LAN party,
Yep.
and that's the only game we can say that for this
Good
year.
one. I did that when Skyrim came out. That was the last time I did that with an old high school buddy.
Oh,
TV
just so you
LAN
could
and
both play?
Just so we could both play at the same time. 'Cause I was the one watching him play. I'm like, I could be doing the same thing.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a game that I would close to be on my top 10, but yeah, it was a year of great games. So Apex Legends. And to recap, before Tyler, we have, what was number 1?
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts,
And then we had
Bloodstained.
Bloodstained,
Same.
and then Apex Legends. Okay, very good. I'm loving the diversity. And now, Kenny, your final 3.
I did all 3.
Oh, you did?
because he had Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, well, hope you've enjoyed the Game of the Year discussions.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. And felt good. It's been a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many standouts as last year when we got the God of Wars and the Red Dead Redemption 2.
The Beat Sabers.
Yeah.
What
Tyler
else?
was so bummed when he realized
Man.
that what didn't come out in 2019.
I could have talked about that forever.
Yeah. Did Breath of the Wild come out last year too?
No, it was 2017.
Oh yeah, that's older now. Wow.
Yeah, March 2017.
Yeah, I feel like
March 3rd.
The beginning
Wow.
of this
Holy crap.
Something too to kind of note about this year is I feel like at the beginning of this year, PSVR was like going nuts. But
Yeah.
then like really dwindled down come like the middle of the year. Just like new games stopped showing up. They were given a good amount of games out for like
PS Plus, yeah.
Plus almost towards the beginning of every month at
Really?
the beginning of the year. But yeah, that stopped real quick, and they've really quieted down over the past 6 months or so.
Yeah, it's like they're gearing up for the PS5, but maybe not being as, I don't see it highlighted in the PS Store very much, PSVR stuff. I know it does show up on occasion, but I think they could do a better job of getting the word out. And there hasn't been any blockbuster VR stuff until obviously Half-Life Alyx, which was announced a couple weeks ago, and we'll get to see what that looks like. Well, we already know what it looks like, but it comes out in March, and maybe that'll be the big boon that VR needs. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yep.
I'm still waiting on that hentai. And well, one, I can afford it, and two, when they have really good hentai games.
Well, Christmas is the day after tomorrow, or actually it'll probably go up live on Christmas unless Tyler.
If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be live on Christmas.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
why?
Yeah.
Go hang out with your family. Go eat the food
Yeah.
that they made. Mom's gonna be mad, or dad. I don't know. Who you live with?
Treat your spaghetti right.
So
Spaghetti.
what I'm going to propose, and you guys can either reject or not, is that we open one gift each and maybe save one for later. Is that okay with you, Anthony?
Okay,
Sure.
I got him to open. So
So Anthony was the super nice guy that he is, brought us in some gifts, and
ho ho ho.
yes, we were not expecting it, and he's agreed to let us open them on stream. We assume they're video game related, but they could be completely video game related.
So, because I am off camera, I'm gonna pick the one I would like Tyler to open for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Which
so
one?
Tyler,
Big
let's
one or the little one?
go with little one.
Little one.
All right. I think we should guess what's in it too.
Oh man. So I'm gonna take my first guess. With the little one, I'm gonna say it's a pop.
Ah.
Pop.
We'll have to see.
Can I feel it?
Well, guess your own.
Oh, just guess my own. I can't. Okay, fine.
All will be
Alright.
revealed.
Here's Kenny's present from Anthony. Whoa.
Oh snap!
Oh, it's Piccolo.
Here's a Piccolo Pop.
Oh, damn.
That's awesome.
Oh,
FYE
yeah.
exclusive. I had no clue. They have a whole wall of them in the back. I was like, holy crap.
Pretty dope.
Wow.
That's super dope.
They're wild.
Very
I'm
cool.
putting that in the game room.
Shout out to the very nice lady who helped me at FYE. I was just like, do you ever do like Dragon Ball Z pops? And she's like, yeah, I got like this Vegeta one, this Goku one. Let me go get them for you. And I was like, oh, this lady knows her stuff. Nice. And she was very cute. So that was cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't expect that.
No, it was rad.
Is this also a pop?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should just open them
Here's a
all.
little
This is
bigger.
fun. All right, Tyler, your turn.
I'm opening this one.
Yeah.
No guess on it?
What do you think, baby?
He's feeling it.
I think it's some kind of.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah, we should say for audio listeners. I know we picked that. They probably picked up on that, but that was a pop. A piccolo. Piccolo.
A Piccolo.
For some reason, I think this is some like trading card, something.
I have a feeling that one of
Magic the
mine are
Gathering.
magic cards.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
game.
snap.
Was a card game.
Joking hazards.
Hell yes,
Added to
Joking
my
Hazard.
game collection.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. It's like apples to apples, but
Yeah.
illustrated like the comic, and
Funny.
they got good stuff.
Funny thing, we played this at my house for a game night.
Yeah,
So isn't Apples to Apples just like Cards of Humanity or Cards Against Humanity?
I think is it?
No.
I haven't played apples to apples in a
It's-
long time.
Well, yeah. It is.
It is, yeah. So
It's like the family.
what's this
save.
one like? I'm
I
sure I'll
think you
be
just
playing
put
it.
like it's like you make your own comic out of it. But
Yeah.
You put different.
It definitely gets fun if you have the right crowd.
Yeah. There's one where you like suck your own dick. There's one where a guy's like putting his butt in his face. And there's one with Jesus.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
I think
sounds pretty X-rated.
Yeah.
Tyrell
it can
Tyrell said it like he was like his theory was ass and dicks always win the round.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything ass and dicks related always win. Well, always won.
Well, wow, that's really cool, man.
Thank you, Anthony.
No problem.
All right, now it's my turn.
Any guess? Any guess? Any guess?
Oh, okay, for this one, I'm guessing starter pack for Magic the Gathering.
You can see, I like all these cards. You guys are, you know me well, but I think I wanted to surprise you guys a bit this year.
Oh, jeez.
No way, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, now you can
What?
play.
Wow, holy crap, it's a Nintendo Switch controller.
Nice.
Wow, dude, thank you so much.
problem.
Which one is that?
That's the wired one. It's the just like the wired version of the Pro controller.
So it's a wired Pro.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So no
That's
latency. My other one that fell in the
And
fell in the
bowl.
cat bowl when we were recording upstairs. Dude, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
Wow.
Now you can play because they're used like I put it on my Christmas list, and then that way, even if you get more, then
Oh
you just got more
yeah.
to play with.
Okay, dude.
Should we open the rest of them?
Do it. Who cares?
Do it.
What's our
big one,
runtime
Tyler?
now? Because I don't think we're even gonna get.
We
into
are
the-
at 103.
Oh wow. Yeah. Whatever. It's a Christmas
It's a
episode.
Christmas episode. Let them open the gifts.
Yeah. Okay.
What's my big
What
one?
do you think it is?
This one with the sound of it.
There's not much sound.
Popcorn machine.
It sounds like there's some clicking back and forth. So definitely gonna keep rolling. I'm guessing something anime related.
Something anime related, he says.
It's crazy. It's scary how.
It's too vague.
I know.
Could be a big figurine.
Could be a big figurine. Yep. And drum roll.
It's scary how. Yeah. It's yeah. You got the notes for it, man.
I know him too well.
Great
yes.
ape pop.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Great ape Goku.
Amazing.
He's a biggin.
I love
Holy
it.
crap. Wow, Anthony, you are straight up Santa Claus.
Oh yeah. Ho ho ho. Joe's Bizarre Christmas.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Joe.
Joe.
All right. So Tyler,
I mean, if there's a theme to things, I mean, this could be a pop. Could be another game type thing.
I am 2 for 2 in a way.
Yeah. You called
Well,
it.
the other day you were asking me about my D&D character.
I was.
10
So
USB cable.
I think
Hell yeah.
this is a half orc something.
Gotcha.
No!
It wouldn't come in on time, so I didn't work anything. D&D.
Okay.
Plus, it didn't have any spell cards of Barbarian.
Nice. I got Super Saiyan Goku.
What?
Oh, that's awesome.
He glows in the dark.
Super Saiyan
Very
Goku.
nice,
Oh, he
very
goes in
nice.
the dark.
I think
Sweet.
so. I think that's what it says.
Yep, he does.
Wow.
Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Well, that's pretty sweet. Man, that big one, that is like
I know, that's huge.
that's
It's a big,
crazy.
it's a big monkey.
What number are they? I'm always fascinated by pop numbers.
too. I have no
Mine's
clue how they
number
categorize them.
14.
14. There's no.
This is 624. Piccolo's 704.
Okay. All right.
Well, they have for the maniacs that collect them too. They have the like pop cases that you case
yeah.
the actual box. I'm like, man, and people give me shit for like an amiibos.
Okay, so I think this is an amiibo, and I'm gonna guess more specifically that it is a Solid Snake amiibo. But
Okay.
it's probably not. I don't know.
It's gonna be Squirtle.
I'd be happy with anything. Don't worry, Anthony.
Surprise! Fake out. I got everybody pops.
Gagio.
Oh, Gilles. Okay. Hell yeah.
Remember you watched Fairy Tale, so I was like, this is another good one.
Yeah, totally. I would not have expected it, which is the great thing about Christmas. You get all these things that you would not get for yourself, but you end up really liking them
Right.
anyway. So thank you so much, dude.
Hey, no problem.
That is awesome. Well,
Awesome.
what a show, what a day, what a friend, and Anthony Dewar.
Indeed.
Our very own Santa.
Yes. We are all treating him to at least one meal.
I like that.
I'm cool
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
All right. Well, we hope you have enjoyed the Holiday Spectacular, our Game of the Year rundown. We'll be coming to you one more time in 2019. That's the plan as of now, where we'll be doing some other type of special end of the year episode. But hopefully we'll have some real news and stuff to go over as well. Feel free to give us a like, subscribe, check out the Smash Tournament video. It's very entertaining and well produced. And
We'll
Merry
see,
Christmas.
Yeah, we'll see you after Christmas.
yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Enjoy, have
Christmas.
fun, and remember, if you don't have anything to give, smile is just as good.
Aw.
That warmed my heart.
Yeah, I really gotta pee. Have a great night, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.